Due to the very high frequencies from the LNB to the receiver, and the fact that the receiver is supplying power to the LNB over the coaxial cable, you need to be very careful not to exceed the installation specifications. The signal loss from the LNB to the receiver can't exceed 20 dB. This equates to a maximum length at 1.45 GHz for DirecTV of 150 feet for RG6 or 225 feet for RG11, and at 2.25 GHz for the dish network of 125 feet for RG6 and 165 feet for RG11. Since it's passing the DC operating current to the LNB, about 200 mils per LNB, the DC characteristics of the coax cable is very important. Now, the maximum voltage drop from the receiver to the LNB should not exceed 1.25 volts. This works out to a maximum loop resistance of about 6 ohms. Now, we're using very good quality 18 gauge solid conductor RG6 that's been tested to over 2.2 gigs, more than adequate for a 150-foot cable run. Now, if you need to go longer distance, RG11 coax will really do the trick. Once all the cables are pulled, we take a last look over the major cable paths to make sure all the slack is out of all the cable runs and there's no cable hanging down into the living spaces, kinked, or wrapped the wrong way around structural members. After we've done that, it's time to secure the cables. All low voltage cables must be secured every 3 or 4 feet to studs, joists, or rafters. This not only makes a neater installation, but will make sure they don't get accidentally damaged by other trades. To secure a small number of cables, use plastic insulated cable clamps that screw or nail to the stud. When secured, you should be able to move the cable through the clamp. For bundle cable, these 3/4 inch plastic clamps work great. For single cables, you can use plastic insulated T59 style staples. Just be careful not to staple through the cable. The plastic part should surround the cable prior to shooting the staple. Do not use the U-shaped staples used for electrical wiring. It's too easy to overnail and crush the cable, or worse, to accidentally cut through the cable. And don't use the round T25 staples. These also have a tendency to crush the cable, and are very easy to misalign and short or cut the cable conductors. These snap-together cable clamps, staple in place, will hold several speaker, TP, or coax cables and allow you to remove or add cables easily. For large bundles of cable, Leviton makes these hook and loop saddle tie-downs. They attach with wood screws and allow you to easily reposition or add or remove cables. Make sure all the cables and rafters and crawl spaces are also secured to joists and cross members to prevent them from getting tangled up or falling down into areas that are going to be sheetrock. This is easy to do with these caddy milli ties we used. Rich and I also used 1/2 inch wide Velcro strapping to secure together loose bundles in the rafter space. The Velcro strapping also worked better than trying to use large conventional cable ties that tended to break against the edges of the J-hooks. When the cables have been secured, use a cable cutter to cut off the excess cable at the outlet with enough slack to make it easy to apply connectors at trim out. Between 12 and 18 inches is a good length. Move the cable label or relabel as necessary. Then secure the cable ends to the rough-in box so they'll be easy to retrieve at trim out and out of the way of other trades. We looped the cable through the holes in the back of the brackets or wound them inside the boxes and secured them with a cable tie. When securing the end of a bundle cable, we recommend that you remove the jacket now, back several inches before it reaches the box, and label the individual cables. This is going to make getting the cables out of the box at trim out a heck of a lot easier. We also decided to install 2-inch flexible conduit in the walls around the entertainment area, since the built-in shelves or niches are not only divided by the central fireplace, but are sheetrock, so there's no way to run wires between them. The conduit allows interconnect cables between equipment or speakers to be run between any shelf and any other shelf if necessary. The conduit is secured behind the open back rough-in boxes and runs up one side, across the top, and down the other side. On a job this size, it's a good idea to check to make sure that each cable that's supposed to originate at a distribution center is installed and labeled properly, and in our case, that it's pulled to the correct enclosure. We found several TP cables from volume controls pulled to the DC2 enclosure that should have been pulled over to the 28-inch DC3 enclosure. Luckily, there was enough slack. Once they're checked, we trim each cable to a reasonable length, about 18 inches below the bottom of the enclosure, moving the label if necessary. Once that's done, we tie the cables together and secure them inside the enclosure. Now our final step is to protect the pre-wire while the rest of the house is being finished. Well, it looks like you got them almost done here. Good, good.
To protect the panel, I'm going to cover it with the cardboard insert that comes with it to keep out paint and other construction debris until we get back.
You'd be surprised when you get back how covered with plaster and paint you sometimes can't even find this panel. So protection is definitely key here.
Then finally, we're going to walk around the house and check all our cables to make sure they're out of the way of the other trades and make sure that our labels are still intact.
All right. Well, I'll grab the clipboard and let's start, let's say, at the kitchen area of the house, and we'll work our way this way.
That sounds good. Let's go.
All right. Why don't we go ahead and catch this one right here. At each location, Rich and I check to make sure the correct cables are terminated at the location, that the labels are intact, and the cables are secured to the rough-in box. 44, 45, 49, 62,
47.
Okay.
Got them.
Okay, we've got 28, kitchen.
Got it.
That's got 49. This whole process took us about 30 minutes, but if we caught one mistake, it would save us hours of work during trim out. In fact, we found 2 cables swapped behind the entertainment center. CD, looks good. Well, that finishes the pre-wire part of the project.
We'll see you back here in a few weeks in the next part of the program for the trim out work.
I can't wait to see this thing powered up. I want to see how it works.
I want to get some bits flowing through that house.
In the meantime, let's go get some food flowing.
I'm with you.